Education in Winneba. Doc, thank you very much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. It's a pleasure to be in your studios this morning.
Great. Good to have you. Now, Doc, number one, what would you say about the effects of the Galamsey menace that we have on our hands? That's my first initial thought to you.
Johnny, this is a big question with many answers. And because today we are talking about our oceans and our water bodies, I think I will skew towards the effect it has on the life in the water.
Right.
And how it affects us. If
Right.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Yes. So we know that, especially with Johnny, you've been making a lot of arguments on the case that our waters are turbid, and other media houses carry that the effect of Galamsey, we should look at the color of water. But it goes beyond that. How does it go beyond that? The first thing is that we know that fish in water, right, they take in oxygen through their gills, isn't it? That's what we're all taught in school.
Absolutely.
But then the blood vessels that are around the gill area, they need clear water to be able to take up that oxygen. Now, in our gold mining areas, it's unfortunate that most of the soil or sediment in those areas is clay, which is very fine when it comes to particle size. So what happens is that because of that increase in load of the clay particles in the water, which is what is making it look brownish or yellowish, these particles are actually settling on the gills of the fish and other aquatic species, so they are not able to effectively take up oxygen from the water. And so, be that as it may, a lot of fish species have been lost from these polluted rivers, and you are only usually going to find catfish these days, what we call adrene or clarias, and then one or two other fish that are able to breathe in air from blasting. They don't need the oxygen in the water. If they have to, they can come out for air. And those are the only ones we are finding. So the first one is a loss of species and biodiversity, which is worrying because we actually had some species of fish that were only found, in the Tano and Ankobra basins, and they were very rare. And due to this pollution, we are losing them. But it's not only a matter of us losing them.
Okay.
These rivers are going into the sea, literally.
That's right.
Last time, 3 News had a story on the Anglo Beach. Then when the reporter was there looking out into the ocean, the water was actually brown due to the fact that all these rivers are actually discharging into the sea. Now, the areas very close to the sea, which we call the estuaries, where the rivers are entering the sea, they serve as nursery grounds and breeding grounds. And those of us who grew up in coastal fishing communities, you would realize that at certain times of the year, you would even find marine fish in some of these rivers because they were coming to, lay their eggs and all that. But then all these species are no longer coming to the estuaries to do that because the whole area is no longer favorable. The heavy metals have killed off a lot of fish species, and in addition to that, the rivers are discharging a higher than normal amount of sediment or soil into the sea. That's another problem. Why is this a problem? Because, for example, in the western region, we have what we call a very strong upwelling. We say as fisheries scientists that at this time of the year, the water is colder, there are more nutrients in the water, so we usually have more fish. But these nutrients are actually also encouraging the growth of what we call primary producers, small photosynthetic organisms in the water. They will photosynthesize for other organisms to feed on them, and that's how can we get the bumper harvest. But the increased levels of this soil and clay particles in the water is not allowing these aquatic photosynthetic organisms to actually carry out the photosynthesis, meaning that there's reduced food availability. A lot of us also don't know that we actually have coral reefs in Ghana. We watch documentaries and see all these nice things underwater, very colorful with fish swimming and out of them. Ghana actually has deep water, cold deep water reefs, okay, which used to serve as places of refuge for a lot of fish species. And our fishermen would even go there with hook and line, what the guys call lagas, to go and fish. But these days, in the western region, the lagas fishermen don't get anything because the increase in particles that is coming from the rivers has virtually covered most of those reefs we have in our water. So the fish are not even going there. And then there's another serious problem on our hands. But I want to pause here in case you have any questions. Then I'll go to the much bigger problem we are facing, even as humans. Yeah.
I see. Now, you mentioned the fact that all rivers will go into the ocean, technically. So what does this mean if we are being encouraged to chew more fish and vegetables? Now I go and harvest my fish, or I buy my fish. Have we bothered to cut out the fish to examine if these fishes have actually been eating up or drinking the chemicals, as it were, heavy metals, mercury, cyanide, and all of this?
Yes, Johnny. That was what I was also coming to. There's been a lot of research that's been done and is currently being done by my colleagues in other universities. And we've realized that we are reporting very high levels of mercury, lead, and arsenic in fish, in soil, and even in the water itself, which are even above the recommended WHO limits. Now, in fishery science and marine biology, we have a term we call bioaccumulation. That is, some organisms in water are actually able to take up this heavy metals into their tissues. Okay. And when we have our fish, maybe say somewhere off Shama in the ocean, and the rivers are sending in all these organisms that already have a high concentration of mercury and all these heavy metals in them. These fish also feed on these organisms. And so in doing so, they also start, absorbing these heavy metals. And fish actually tend to absorb heavy metals into their tissues. And because we have what we call high-level predators, these are the tunas, the bigger mackerels, swordfish, barracuda. Maybe I need to come down to their local terms. We have idwe, that is for the barracuda. We have onyankle, which are the marlins and the swordfishes. We have poku and the rest. These fish also are highly migratory. They are not static. They move, in the Gulf of Guinea and even around the whole globe all the time. So you in Accra buying that onyankle for your light soup, you will not be able to determine whether it has bioaccumulated and as a result biomagnified the heavy metal. And because reports are already showing that a lot of our organisms are actually actively taking up and accumulating these heavy metals, we may sit in Accra and say, oh, that is happening in the western region. As for me, I don't buy fish from the river coming from the western region. I only buy ocean fish. But we are forgetting that all these rivers in the past decade have just been discharging waste and heavy metals into the ocean. And so it's a health risk for us. And the medical officers are already reporting, especially from the mining areas, a lot of deformities, kidney failures. People are being born with their legs under their armpits, excuse my language. We have children being born with only one eye as a result of heavy metal toxicity because the mothers are eating. They'll eat kontomire, they'll eat cassava. Where are these things taking the water from the contaminated soil? And so it's only a matter of time before we have a national crisis on our hands as humans, because the more these tunas are not eating their food items just once and then they go maybe somewhere to Angola, they are going to remain and keep feeding on some of these, what should I use the word, toxified smaller organisms. And then at the end, 1 kilo of tuna you may buy may even accumulate more heavy metals than 1 gram of some diatom or what we call dinoflagellate in the water.
Right.
So that is the health risk we are facing. We are on a time bomb, and nobody is free from this risk.
If you look at the way and manner in which we have approached the fight against Galamsey, with all these startling revelations you're making to me now, do you get a sense that as a country we really are committed to a fight? Maybe I'll rephrase my question. Is there a fight at all?
Yes. Johnny, I'm speaking my capacity as a fishery scientist and as an environmentalist, as well as someone who is in fisheries management. And there are some lessons we can pick from Ghana's fisheries management that we need to apply, which has also been recommended by Professor Frimpong Boateng. The top-down approach, that alarm reaction, where we move from the top and go and scatter everything, it's not working. Why would you ask why it's not working? It's not working because we are not tackling the root cause of the problem. What's the root cause of the problem? We have able-bodied young men and women who just need food to put on the table. They just want to eat.
That's right.
Now, if he's going to be in there, maybe in a cocoa farm, right? He has cocoa, but there's no road to transport that cocoa. And he's not getting people to come and buy that cocoa. And then he's sitting on gold, and he's got all the energy he needs. And his wife is not well. Is he going to sit down and, excuse my language, eat the cocoa tree?
3FM,
so it is the root cause of the problem is we have a lot of manpower, youth who have energy who want to work, but then a lack of opportunity.
How long will it take before it is too late to rescue the ocean? We know that our water bodies have become what they are, but how long before we damage the ocean completely?
Johnny, God in his own wisdom, he made the ocean very big. It covers 70% of the globe, right? And because of that, there's a very huge dilution factor because the ocean is so big.
That's right.
However, what a lot of us don't know is that the water in the ocean is like, it doesn't get moved around overnight. It can take more than 100 to 200 years before water can move from, say, the Gulf of Guinea to the North Pole. So if we look at it with the lens that, sea never dry, it will get diluted there. We should remember that water in the Gulf of Guinea, it moves, but it doesn't move at the speed of light. It's got a very long residence time. And so if we don't do anything about it, we are already sitting on that time bomb. And as I'm speaking, I can't give you an authority say with maybe 2 years or 3 years. But the effects are already here with us. So we don't have to wait. But we need to tackle this situation head on.
Right.
Yes, we will have to go and destroy the machines. But I always say that in years past, we didn't have an issue with the rivers being polluted. What went wrong?
Right.
And that is what we need to look at. We should ask our young men and women why they are doing this. And the answers they'll give us will shock you. They just want to earn their daily bread. That's all.
Now, again, I ask this question, that those who think that because there is salt in the sea, it has the capacity to withstand and dilute all chemicals that are tossed into it. Is that assertion correct?
No, please.
So why are people still going ahead with that thinking and pouring just any and everything into the ocean?
Yes, it's just because of, excuse my language, our sick mentality sometimes, and that I don't careism issue, as well as us not getting enough education about things like this. And that's why I particularly am always happy whenever I get a platform such as this one to help educate the masses. Okay, the salt in the ocean, it has antibacterial properties, not anti-heavy metal properties. So yeah, you have measles and you have chickenpox, so you go and fetch seawater. Hopefully it will do something for you. But the salt is not going to magically remove the mercury in the water. The best it's going to do is it's going to bind onto that mercury and form other substances, which even become more readily available for uptake by biological tissues. For example, when we talk about mercury, we call one of its complexes or compounds methyl mercury. Okay, methyl mercury, you get it when you actually release the mercury into the environment. It gets into the water and it reacts and forms something else. But this methyl mercury is actually the one that tissues are able to actually pick up the most. It's bioavailable. So if we say, it's gone into the water and whatever, it's not going to magically disappear. It must go somewhere. So it will either go into the sand or the sediment or the clay, remain in the water, or go into tissues of other organisms. Yes.
Now, should I be scared to eat fish with all this information I've given me? I like my kenke with my fish. I like sonfyu on the side and kakadiama, octopus. Should I be scared in eating those things now?
There is generally worldwide, Johnny, a caveat that we should be wary when, especially, we are taking what we call the large pelagics. That is what the guys call onyankle, the marlin, the big tuna, and H-nation and the rest.
Chile and the rest.
They tend to, accumulate or biomagnify some of these heavy metals. And in the direct vicinities of these rivers that are polluted, yes, the fish in those estuaries have been found to have high levels of these heavy metals. And I think this is why we as scientists, we keep asking for priority to be given for research work. So I cannot tell you on authority that, Johnny, don't eat your kakadiama or don't eat this. But I would tell you to be wary of where it's coming from. Unfortunately, the fish don't have visas and passports, and neither do they have residence permits. So I will answer your question by saying that we need our state agencies to pull more or channel more resources into the work of research organizations, into the work of people like us as fishery scientists, because it's difficult to fund this kind of research. It's difficult going around the various landing beaches and even carrying out tests to see the levels of heavy metal pollution in these fish. And if we are not well resourced, how can we come up with the relevant information? So the little that is being done is showing that, yes, in the immediate vicinity of the freshwater riverine bodies going in that are polluted, the fish are having high levels of mercury. So I would plead that the authorities who are listening, when they go for their meetings, they would listen to the cry of research scientists that we need more efforts to be channeled into helping us come out with research that will benefit the nation as a whole, and not waste resources on some things that clearly don't matter, if I may say so.
Now, Lawyer Kwame Jantoa once told me on this network that if you catch a galamsey, we should not waste our time going through the process. Bring them out and lash them. I have had others who say, put them away forever. You are a scientist. You are seeing the data. You're seeing the figures. You are in the laboratory. You're examining it. And now the stark reality is there. What would you advise we do to galamseyers?
The galamsey is not operating in a vacuum, Johnny. He has a paymaster. Now, the poor boy there, I have students right now who actually had to do galamsey to make money to pay their school fees in the university. And they will tell you that we are doing this job because we need money to come to school. Who is paying? And who is giving them the equipment to actually do this? So until we give the youth viable opportunities, alternative livelihoods, and income generation, if you lash him, after you lash him, what's he going to do next? That's the question, Johnny.
Okay. I thank you very much indeed for your time. Dr. Jemima Etenam Kasa, fishery scientist, lecturer, biology department, UEW. Do you miss your days on National Science and Maths Quiz, by the way?
Oh, Johnny, how did you know that?
I'm a journalist.
Oh, my goodness. I do, so I watch it whenever I get a chance.
I see. I wish you all the best. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jody. Bye.
Bye. 9:50. Time for you to call Voice of the People. 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, and 055-691-0154. Big shouts to Colossus of Radio, Conscious Ayatollah. there, Kojo Labi. And also a big one to my brother in Kumasi, Godwin. And your DSP, 3-star. Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh, Kosami. How are you?
Oh, my excuse.
Talk to me.
Happy Father's Day.
And to you too.
Fathers, Media General, and our listeners and our colleagues, contributors. I mean, it's good to be a father. I think you are feeling it. Johnny, I think we have a president who cares about nothing. All what we care about is that, I mean, Bavania becoming the flag bearer of NPP, and then for them to break the heat. That's what the president is about. Nothing about it. I mean, it cares not about anything in this country. Every aspect of the economy is collapsing. That this president don't care. Or what he care, how to make Bamia the flag bearer, and how to manipulate the electoral commission to win the 2024 election. Look, about this Galamsey thing, I think Bukan said it. You remember on Trust FM, I was advocating for grassroots to the top, bottom to top approach, where we begin from the unit level, so that we get to understand the issues, we get to understand the people, and then involve them in the fight. But rather sit at the top, as you always say, organizing seminars that does not provide any answers to the issue. Then we go down there, beat them, arrest some of them, destroy their things, and come back and sit there and cry. Meanwhile, people are there drinking dirty water. But very, very soon, it will catch up with us in Accra. You see, you know, this president, the reason why he don't want to to cut down the size of government, because he needs vote for Bamia. All government appointees are qualified to be delegates.
Okay.
So when he reduce them, he will reduce the vote of Bamia. So he will not really cut the size of his government to lose those votes. That's all what he's doing.
Father Kosami, thank you. Good morning. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. This is Community Connect live on 3FM 92.7. We have just a few minutes to go. So time to be heard. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Please call us and share your thoughts and comments with us. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and location, please. Deso.
Good.
Talk to me.
My appeal is those who are the Malan Johnson crossing. In fact, there's overpass for people to walk and cross to other lanes. People walk with truck and other stuff crossing the main road, leaving the overpass. What kind of life and attitude are we behaving as Ghanaians? Why? And you see many people, drivers who, young boys, they are inside their car, WhatsApping, Facebooking, making calls while driving, crossing the highway without using the indicator light. What kind of life is this? Why? So this one is the government matter.
No, this one becomes.
And then go to my issue now. I this morning saw barrier. I saw a lot of bars, yellow bars. You put told us that your mama don't have a vision, no social intervention. But he brought a yellow bars. You put lam it up, and then the road on it, friends of Baumia. Go and see. They are all coming. And you saw Okada boys at, what's the name? To do. They are all wearing Baumia, friends of Baumia. They are all going to the party they sent to. You see? So Ghanaian will never learn. That's our life. They'll use money to deceive us. And people will surely vote for them.
Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you, Fatal. Good morning. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. This evening we're meeting at the Gold Coast restaurant. Yeah, it's a corporate hangout. Come and let your head down. Let's enjoy. Brought to you by Origin 3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio. Good morning.
Yes, Craig.
Precious, yes, talk to me.
Johnny. Johnny, the politics now we are playing in this country,
You want me to be fair. Me, I can be president more than those who are the people who came and ruled. Only Kuma sometimes.
Which party's flag bearer would you be? Precious.
Like you give remarks sometimes, Ghana will be, but these people they are some kind of dirty politics. Our area or Johnny, my area, laws are not working. Then we say the government is ruling us. But laws are not working in the country. So, what is the post they get? They get the post that everybody will do rough thing, by hard thing. Hey, it's not easy, Johnny. It's not easy.
I thank you, Precious. Good morning. Thank you very much. And you can also call us 055-924-2717. 055-924-2717. Bring somebody along to the Corporate Connect today. Yeah. And Black Rasta's coming up. Black Rasta. From 10 all the way to 2. The king of the Kuchoko fraternity. Yeah. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Morning.
You have to speak up for me, boss. You sound like you're in a hole.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
My name is Jamal.
Okay, Jamal, talk to me.
Yeah, right. Today I have nothing to say, but I just like your music. So like you guys should play more music.
Thank you. We like your voice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jamal. Thank you.
Daily graphic, cause it's graphic on the daily. I see you out in traffic when they traffic in the
Oh my God.
in the milk. It doesn't taste like Bailey's.
Yeah.
Wish it did.
Can you cry? Manuel from basa. Well, you can also call us at 055-924-2717.
If you're scared of heights, don't get to the
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir, boss. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Talk to me.
We thank God.
Right.
Johnny,
Yes,
thank you. You are doing a great job for us. My name is Daniel, calling from Dansoma.
Thank you, Danny.
I've come across a video yesterday, and the video is talking about how the Western world is planning to eliminate Africans. I don't know if you came across such a video. It sounds very, very gruesome to read the Africans, and then our leaders too. They accepted that, and they are killing us through the GALAMSEY, the cyanide, the mercury. They are killing us softly. They are damaging our future, and then they support the Western world idea. All these things, it boils down to the system of governance that we are having in Africa,
right,
and especially Ghana. So things that are going on in this country, especially where the leaders are taking us for granted, is very bad. It's very bad.
Okay.
And then you, the media, you have to the way you bite. I listen to you every morning. Keep on biting.
Thank you.
Bite hard.
Thank you.
We are behind you.
I'll continue biting. I'm grateful. Thank you so much indeed. Cliff, you're my final caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Johnny. Good
Yes,
morning
talk
to
to
you
me.
and then your colleagues in the studio.
Right.
Johnny, just want to comment on the special prosecutor and then Charles issue. The analysis that you people were doing this morning.
With William.
I think, pardon?
With William.
Yeah.
And Helen, right.
I think it's right for us to just put an analysis on certain things like this. Because the point is that if the special prosecutor knew that you have any chance to go and arrest Charles DC, and you go to court to get court warrant, and later on you tell us that you do not need any court warrant to go and arrest somebody, that tells you that maybe the special prosecutor was just doing it for the public to hear that he is trying to investigate Charles DC, but intention was not to investigate him, so that we will just be silent that he is going to investigate him and things will just sweep under the carpet. But because of they went to court to injunct that kind of process, and he is now coming out to say this kind of things, that means that to me personally, the seriousness of fighting corruption is not even in Ghana. The DNA of Ghanaians are not to fight corruption, but to enrich themselves. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning, and thank you very much indeed. We can't take any more of your calls.